killed at least 20 kids in the neighborhood. Kids we all knew. It drove us crazy when we didn't know who it was. But it was even worse after they caught him. Did they put him away? Well, the lawyers got fat and the judge got famous, but somebody forgot to sign the search warrant in the right place, and Kruger was free just like that. What did you do, Mother? A bunch of us parents tracked him down after they let him out. We found him in an old abandoned boiler room where he used to take his kids. Go on. Took gasoline. Poured it all around the place. Made a trail of it out the door. Then lit the whole thing up and watched it burn. But he can't get you now. He's dead, honey, because Mommy killed him. I even took his knives. So it's okay now.
Hi. So, I know you're guessing my next review. A Nightmare on Elm Street. Bitch. Now. So, the film was directed by Wes Craven, 1984, starring as a Lane Cap, Johnny Depp, and this film is easily one of Wes Craven's best horror films he's ever made, which many may argue Scream is, but this is so much superior, not only with its characters, but also with its story. So, many of you know the story about Freddy and what he's capable of and his task as for why he is after the Elm Street kids, which just so happens to be Nancy. So I saw this film when I was probably 11 or 10. And what interested me the most was the practical effects that were so well done for their time. And still to this day they hold up very well. Like for example, the stretching of the arms when he's walking down the hall, like the alleyway into his dream. That was actually really inexpensive to do. All it was like, I think Wes Craven's in the commentary said it was like a spring pipe thing that they used. It's very cheap. And one of my favorite scenes in the film is easily the attack of Tina whenever she's like being drug up on the walls, and then Rod is screaming, like not knowing what the hell's going on, and it looks like a possession really, but it's not. It's just her being filleted in her dreams, and it just comes out that way through. In reality, it looks like she's being possessed. But many of you you already know, this is Johnny Depp's first role, and he did really well, you know. I mean, he's a great actor anyway, but for his first film, it's like he really helped carry the film, you know, for Nancy's boyfriend, and lives all the way through the movie, and up until the end, you know, the very end, really. But Hedda Langenkamp, you know, she's really the final girl, and she does really good too. Like, which I love her in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which I'll review that at another time probably. Because aside from this first one, the original, it's the only one I like. But then when Wes Craven directed, you know, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, I love that one. Like, I've probably seen that just as much as the first one. And it's really good. You should check it out. It's way beyond its time, honestly. It's why it's probably not as popular as it should be now. But it's really underrated, and it's worth a look. But anyway, back to the original. There's so many iconic scenes in this movie, like the bathtub scene when he's reaching to the bubbles, looks like he's crawling out of her snatch. But it, you know, it's not that part that I really like. It's the part where he drags her into the bathtub and it looks like it's like a maybe 10 feet deep or more into the bathtub, and she's trying to get out. That really scared me as a kid growing up. And then when Johnny Depp gets pulled inside the bed, all that blood just spews out like a waterfall, and his mom witnesses it. Her reaction is really, really great. How she looks so terrified, which is she should, you know. But then the whole cast is really good. The only cast member I don't really care for particularly is Tina. I don't know the actress's name, but the first part she's in, I don't really care for her. But then when she gets killed, she does really good. She's really convincing. And it's one of the best scenes in horror, in my opinion. But Robert Englund, he's great in this role, and it's just, he's so damn good in it that I hate that in the later films they just make him into like a slapstick comedy Freddy, where he's not even scary. And Wes Craven did it right, and if he had control over the rest of the series, it could have been really good, in my opinion. I don't know why he didn't. I guess because the script he didn't like in the second one, but I mean, I'm sure if he took hold of it, he could have, you know, changed it to where it would have been better. But a lot of people like it, but the series, battle, or the franchise. But the score in this is really chilling and great. But back to Robert Englund. Like, he's great even in, you know, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Like, he's really dark and, you know, iconic like he was in the first one. But then in the other ones after that, he just loses sense of the character, it feels like. It's not like him, it's more the director's and the writer's fault, but still. But even in Freddy vs. Jason, directed by Ronnie Yu, it's like a great performance by him. It's, you know, right back to that dark, gritty Freddy we know and love, but then he's still comical, you know, and that's, speaking of comical, that's, the makeup gets really bad later on with his prosthetic, his face, you know, the makeup they use, latex mask, whatever, it just doesn't look right. And in the original, it's funny how, you know, in the original, as old as that is, compared to the newer ones back in the day, weren't nowhere near as good or realistic. But I mean, I get also Freddy was in the dark then too, but still, it looked a whole lot better. But this film scared the hell out of me. Growing up, I was so scared of Freddy Krueger. Not so much about him killing me, I was scared of him making me touch his face or something, which is weird. I don't like slimy, nasty things like bugs or snakes, whatever. And his face was slimy and gross. But the weapon of choice is so hauntingly scary as well. You know, it's like a actual boogeyman's outfit. But I know how people complain with the remake though, as far as, you know, Freddy being a child molester in the remake, but that was actually Wes Craven's intention with the original, but it's just that in the 80s it was such a, there was like a time where that was kind of awakening that happening, so he kind of tried to water it down a little bit to where it wasn't so as obvious, I guess, or like right in your face. But I mean, given the backstory of the first scene I showed you in the review, it's pretty obvious. I mean, he didn't just kill them, but they didn't make that the main focus. You know, his main focus is killing the Elm Street residents. But yeah. So, but back to the story, things take a turn for the worse as far as, you know, Nancy's mother and her father, as far as him not blaming her, and then the mother, she suspects something, obviously, and has her tested with her during her dreams and seeing what's up with her nightmares and everything, and then it turns out, you know, she gets the hat, grabs her hat off Freddy in her dreams, and she takes it in her own hands to be like kind of like Home Alone, where she pulls him out of the dream and then sets up like booby traps all over the house, and then eventually realizes that what can stop him is not fearing him, and so he pretty much vanishes into thin air, or sparkles, or whatever. My only complaint is the ending, where he grabs her through the window door, and her legs are just flying through the doors, like, straight, like there's no, like, for one, her body's too big to fit through that window and everything, and it was just really cheesy, and didn't go well for the rest of the film, I don't think. But it is what it is. The 80s was filled with cheese, and the rest of the film is great, so you can overlook that. So overall, the film is really amazing, and still is amazing, and it holds up even today, in 2018, and make sure you watch it this year for Halloween. I always watch it in October to celebrate. But yes, if you enjoyed the review, let me know what you think, and come back for more.